monte de 200, tu veux dire? Non, je descends. Je suis à 5300 là. Non, là, j'ai descendu. Ouais.
It's do or die time in the mixed quarterfinal round here in Royan, France. The USA, with 2 losses on their resume, taking on unbeaten Russia at 9-0. This is one of 4 quarterfinals, and it is an intriguing round of competition with Liam Grant. I am Evan Lepler. The story of the tournament, Liam, USA faltering twice, and Russia with 3 universe point wins. They've been perfect. And yet this game, I think, could go either way.
Yes, Evan, this is Cold War II here. Russian women taking on the U.S. women earlier. U.S. coming out on top on this one. Will we see a repeat? The Russians have some real great players on top of their roster, maybe not the depth, and that's why we've seen them winning on Universe Point, putting out their strongest lines when they have to. Don't really have the depth to put any team away with a big score margin. The story of the US is just adjusting the beach, finding it difficult to come up against the likes of Spain, Sweden, Philippines, countries that are maybe more used to playing on sand. And I don't think anyone would argue that USA don't have the best players on the field. It's just getting them to play the best.
Well, the USA certainly has not shown their A game yet. The question is, can they do it when it counts the most? If they don't win today, they will not medal. A spot in the semifinals on the line. USA and Russia from Royan in the opening poll coming up.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
Kind of a crosswind diagonal across the field as we get set for the opening pull. Less than a minute away. This is at the top of the bracket, USA and Russia, one of 4 quarterfinals, all going on concurrently. Germany, Great Britain, Philippines, India, Portugal, and Canada, the other teams in the Elite 8. The Russian roster features a couple Canadian imports. Anatoly Vasilyev, born in Russia, has spent much of his life in Canada, one of the leaders in the tournament in assists, and no one in the mixed division all tournament long has more scores, goals plus assists, than Isaiah Masik-Kelly. With that said, this is far more than a 2-person team. Alexander Rudametkin has been excellent, and Anna Stukalina and Alina Vinogradova have been the top 2 females for the Russians. For Team USA, Simon Higgins has been an anchor for what the team has done offensively. I think Nathan White and Mac Taylor are going to be really important today for the U.S. defensively, trying to slow down the Russian cutters. And the USA will begin on defense. Mac Taylor launches the opening pull. This elimination quarterfinal game is underway. Byron Liu will pick up Anatoly Vasilyev. It's a great matchup. One of the top handler defenders, one of the top handlers. This is Vinogradova, and she was denied by Mextroff. Sarah Mextroff, the hand block, and a golden opportunity for the USA to break right off the bat. Jack McShane, lefty backhand, into the end zone for Marika Austin. And the Americans could not have scripted a better start.
Yeah, taking it to the Russians there. A little luscious lefty. The right amount of wobble on it. Didn't phase the American receiver. getting a quick break, and I wonder how ready Russia are for this game.
Well, Mexstroth with her incredible reach, and you see immediately the regret on the face of Vinogradova. Austin with her 7th goal of the tournament. This USA squad has been very balanced in scoring the disc. And an early break, Russia. Well, they've fallen behind several times. We covered their game against Portugal when they trailed by 3, 9-6, and then scored 4 in a row. 3 consecutive breaks to close it out, 10-9. One of 3 Universe Point wins for Russia. They were taken the distance by Ukraine and by Spain in the pre-quarters. They almost didn't get to this game. Vinogradova had a drop and a tough catch in the end zone, but she got the disc back, D'd up Spain on a deep shot. Looking deep for Masik Kelly. Nathan White defending, and it's ripped away by White. That is a huge mental punch thrown by Nathan White in the aerial battle. And White upfield. Masik Kelly has had to play so many points. It's hard to say exactly how much he has left in the tank. Jorgensen swings it to White, and Markham Schaffner punches it in. 2-0 USA.
Yeah, that's my big worry for Russia, is their top players spent already, having to bring them out 2-3 points in a row to get those Universe Points wins. They can't continue to do that all tournament long, and they may be running out of steam here. But don't doubt them. We've seen them backed up against the wall so far this week, and they've come out punching each time.
How about this D from Nathan White?
Nathan often playing as a handler, and this is going to be a huge matchup, and a big mental D as well to start off the game. Let Russia know that that won't work every time. But Nathan White, a San Francisco-based player, showing his reach there.
Schaffner understandably fired up. It was shocking to see the USA fall to Sweden. They blew a 5-2 lead in that game. Lost by 1, 12-11. Sweden played almost perfect, and then shockingly, the Swedes didn't even make it to the pre-quarters. And USA falling yesterday to the Philippines. A game the US led 8-2 before surrendering a 7-0 run, which was astonishing. USA made plenty of offensive mistakes, and that was the key for head coach Eileen Murray coming into the game. To the end zone, Russia's on the board. Alina Kagan makes it 2-1.
That Frederick flick thrown to perfection. Textbook beach hook. Loads and loads of touch. Giving receiver plenty of time.
6th assist for Anton Kiesley.
Kiesley, CEO of the uniform company Lucky Grass, also the name of the club team he represents. And on the field with his partner Alina Sharapova, the designer for Lucky Grass. So a couple of couples on this Russian team.
Sure.
I heard yesterday or the day before with the USA stream, Lisa Laurie and Ben Laurie were referred to as a couple, but they weren't happy about that. I know they're in fact siblings.
They are, Ben and Lizzie, both very skilled players. This is Ben Laurie. Downfield, Liza Minor. Eli Kearns. Higgins back to Kearns and into the end zone. USA makes quick work of its first offensive point.
Great play there by Eli Kearns, who'll be pivotal for this USA team as they get into the business end of this bracket. Got to spend some time in Barcelona doing a semester abroad there. One of the big hubs of beach ultimate globally, so that experience will pay. Sends the backhand and a goal for USA.
It's the 13th score of the tournament for Liza Meyer, 13th goal, I should say. She's actually leading the USA team in goals. Came into this game tied with Sarah Mextroff at the top of the squad. Simon Higgins has been more involved in the offense than anybody, but Higgins actually, you think of him as a deep threat. He leads the team in assists, a lot of catches near the goal line that he has then turned into goals. He's also been fronted a lot and been given those unders as the opponent knows how dangerous he is deep. Keesley, Vasiliev, and Masick Kelly with Stukalina and Vinogradova. Lizzie Laurie defending. This is Keesley, marked by Schaffner. Some traffic downfield, some traffic in the dump set as well, but Vasiliev able to secure the reset. Masick Kelly floats it deep. Keesley to the end zone. Anna Stukalina with her 10th goal of the tourney.
Great defensive play there from Nathan White, who shut down Masick Kelly on many a cut. And that's going to be a great matchup all game long if he continues to take him, force them under. But Russia doing well to slice through this USA defense like a hot knife through butter, eventually getting that one in.
Keesley had the game-winning goal in the pre-quarterfinal win against Spain on Universe. Picks up the assist right here. There's a lot of people wondering, Liam, what the USA's mindset would be, how mentally strong they would be after dropping a couple of games. And they acknowledge yesterday was tough. You know, to give up a 7-0 run when you're 1 point away from a win, that's painful, especially with the expectations going along with it. But they had a good team dinner. Murray's saying this morning the captains did a great job getting everyone mentally prepared. Liza Meyer, one of those captains, looking to the end zone, and there's Higgins. Higgins and Kearns, childhood friends in Northern California, and almost became enemies in pursuit of that disc. 10th goal for Simon Higgins.
Yeah, the man is a beast going deep. You'd almost hear his feet stomping in the commentary booth. A terror when he gets going, and this, a beautiful throw into space, letting the man chase it down.
One of the things that USA has struggled with at times, as their coach put it, we get Simon eyes. And we just try to force it to him deep because he's Simon. And that was certainly a smart choice there, using Higgins underneath and then floating it to him wide open long. So 4-2. USA's up multiple breaks, though. The Americans have not turned it over yet after getting breaks on each of the first 2 scores. Vasiliev receives the pull. Masick Kelly being chased by Mac Taylor. A pick call downfield in that cluster right of your screen. Masick Kelly joining this Russian team just a couple weeks before the event. A star in Toronto. Masick Kelly launching long. Keesley chased by Schaffner. Everybody stumbles. And we'll see if there's a call. It looked like a foul on the sand, if anything.
I think Keesley held position there well. Schaffner not expecting him to body as much as he did. And it's very hard to argue with Schaffner that it wasn't a foul. I liked Keesley's attempt to catch it anyway through contact. As he fell to the ground, threw a hand at it anyway.
So you thought it was a foul?
We'll see here in the replay. Oh, looks like he was going to ground maybe beforehand, but it's very difficult not to foul someone in that position when you're trying to make up yards.
Schaffner signaled no contest, and if it's an uncontested foul, the disc should belong to Russia in the end zone.
I think Vasiliev making that point now, but
well, Russia will keep the disc. Keesley, Mazzucchelli. Looking long. Vinogradova versus Austin. And the D for Marika Austin.
USA forcing Mazzucchelli under, trying to make him be the thrower and not the receiver. And you'd really want it the other way around if you're Russia. So good tactics from USA, and they get a turn out of that one.
Third turnover of the game for Russia. Schaffner, Lou, Taylor, Austin, and Mims, and it's a deep shot for Austin. Bookends for Austin. Third break of the half for the United States.
Marika Austin eating up the sand there. Russians trying to regather here. A conversation happening in the middle of the field as well.
Well, Vasiliev and Schaffner, we're still talking about the resolution of the last play when Schaffner fouled him in the back of the end zone. It's possible Schaffner was arguing that the foul was on the cut and not the reception. Hard to speculate, hard to know. Russia is in a hole here. They've overcome deficits before, but I'm not sure they faced a team with the raw talent of the United States. Mazzucchelli staying on the field here. I have a hunch, Liam, that in the next 2 to 4 years, WFDF and BULA might be wise to specify the rules for eligibility. Because while, you know, Isaiah Mazzucchelli joining Russia is basically like a club team picking up a top player and adding him, which is fine if it's club. But for an international event, it seems a little silly. And I think even he would admit that. And yet he's on the team. He's been a star. Vasiliev rifles it deep. And Mextrov denies the shot to the end zone. White looking for Mextrov. USA with an avalanche of momentum. Lizzie Laurie's got it!
USA taking this one to the Russians, wasting no time. The female players showing their speed again.
Russia was pushed to the brink this morning in the pre-quarters, and perhaps that took something out of them, because certainly USA looks faster, stronger, better through the first 8 points in this quarterfinal. And Sarah Mextrov, USA national champ. We saw her club teammate, former club teammate Sarah Ancio this morning with the women's team. Dragon Thrust won a bunch of titles on the backs of Ancio and Mextrov.
And going back to that Mazzucchelli debate, I would be in favor of you as well, that it's not really fair to have him on the team. I've seen some outfits that say Ireland getting in Kelly Hyland from the US, but she actually learned to play Ultimate in Ireland and spent some time there.
Mark Burton is another guy who has Irish roots, spent a lot of time living in Ireland. I think if you've lived in a country for a long time, that is one thing. And a lot of this is kind of the honor system as Lou goes Superman defensively. Comes up shy of Nikolai Yelisev. Byron Lou is a late add to this team when USA lost Nikki Spiva to the World Games roster. And they added Byron Lou in part because he was so active as an alternate on the team GroupMe. becoming a part of the squad, even though he was just a supporting cast member, an understudy, you might say. This time, Kelly does pick up the assist to Yelesev. There's a Toronto connection. Yelesev of Russian descent, but he came to Toronto, played in the Canadian National Championships with the second Toronto club team, Grand Trunk. And the Toronto tandem here, Kelly and Yelesev, to snap the USA's 3-0 run.
Back in the day, the Irish soccer teams used to import people as well. We used to call them plastic paddies. Often scouts would be sent over to the UK and find out which soccer players had Irish grannies and who they could scupper over to the Irish soccer team. And we see this in play here. And I think,
and it's interesting because, you know, every year, you know, Israel, for example, will recruit a lot of Jews from America who haven't been to Israel to play for their country. And, you know, one of the great stories in the World Baseball Classic was the success of Israel with a lot of players who had not been to Israel beforehand. I'm not exactly sure where you draw the line, but for a country like Russia with a pretty solid ultimate history, seems excessive to add a guy like Kelly. Here's Higgins taking a chance. Liza Minor in pursuit, takes it to half, and the USA will receive the next pull as well. The Americans play turnover-free ultimate in an elimination quarterfinal game against an undefeated opponent here on Field 1.
USA get another female receiver in the end zone. Seem to be trying to isolate them there. Russians allowing Higgins to get big unders and gets the continuation.
We've seen the USA in mixed ultimate employ this strategy before, trying to isolate their female players, of whom they have great trust. Liza Minor, her second goal of the game, her team leading 14th in the tournament. And Russia's in some trouble here. They have to pull. If USA can hold, it'll be 8-3. And then Russia is looking at needing a hold and 5 breaks in a row to win. Now, if there's a team that you shouldn't stop watching their game early, it's USA mixed.
Yeah.
Because USA has had leads of 3 and 6 overcome against them here in Royan.
And in comparison to that, Russia have been the biggest comeback kids on the sand here, so far from over.
First point of the second half, USA receiving up 4 breaks. This is Romano to Higgins. Eli Kearns, he's been quiet so far in this quarterfinal. And Laurie. You know, very often USA has employed 3 females on offense, along with Kearns and Higgins, who were childhood friends, been playing ultimate together since they were little boys. When they go 3-2 with 3 males, Laurie has typically been the 3rd male joining Higgins and Kearns this week on the O-line. It's one of the reasons Kearns has been quiet, is the USA hasn't had many O points, and when they've had one, they've scored easily. 8-3.
Ben Laurie trying to keep up with his sister on the stats sheet. Very close. Interesting to see who will come out on top at the end of the week. Yeah, Higgins and Kearns, as far as I remember, used to play Polar Bears back in the day, and played mixed with the USA under-23 team in London. So favoring mixed quite a lot, and that's why I think they're on this mixed roster. Have that familiarity of playing in this division. Also played with a team I started called Free Willy in a B tournament, Fogburn in San Francisco. Unfortunately, I started a team maybe 2-3 years ago. They didn't play with us the first year, and I'd left. The team continued, to my surprise.
So you were replaced by Kearns and Higgins, basically.
Yeah.
It takes two guys of that caliber to replace yourself.
They're still struggling with the accent, though, but I might try and give them some lessons at the tournament party.
Well, both Higgins and Kearns have been very ardent supporters of mixed ultimate. Nathan White played on the Open team in London last year. They beat Japan in a thrilling final. The long comeback road. Could it start now for Russia? Their medal hopes, dreams of gold or any medal at all on the line. And a stoppage.
I think those universe point losses actually helped the US, you know. Sometimes you need a good kick to get you going, and that's what seems to be working here.
This wraparound shot, Keesley on his horse. He's got it!
Unreal play there from the Russians. The crowd's now electric in the stand. That's what they wanted to see.
Anton Keesley going horizontal for the Russian score.
And that was a peach of a backhand. She waited a moment, give the receiver more time. And layout technique that doesn't work on grass, but very effective on the sand.
How about the throw from Natalia Shabunyaeva?
That arcing to perfection. Just what the Russians needed.
Now they need more breaks. Quickly, an update from the other games going on concurrently right now. Mixed quarterfinal round. Germany also perfect in the tournament with a 5-4 lead on Great Britain. The Philippines leading India 5-3. And Canada a 5-3 edge over Portugal. Those three games going on now. We'll have a mixed semi for you later. And that one off the hands of Liza Minor, the first turnover of the day in this game for the United States. Mixed semifinal, Liam, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We're going to have a tough choice to decide which one to feature here on the show pitch.
Yeah, those other games being streamed on fancy.com.
Thank goodness we have multiple fields being streamed. So the USA O-line forced to play D for the first time. Pavel Yeremin. Marked by Kearns. Vinogradova. Rudometkin looking deep, and Russia has its mojo back. Ilya Kitmanov with the first break of the Americans here in the quarters.
The Russians rising in the business end of this game as we move into the second half. And as I said of a friend, Ravi in the Netherlands, who I saw had 3 computers going at one stage, watching all 3 streams, field 1, 2, and 3, and I almost wish I had the same. Fantastic games of Ultimate taking place here in France.
If you've got a setup watching multiple games at once, you can tweet at us and let us know. Show us your setups to watch Beach Worlds. We welcome those from Russia in the afternoon, those who have woken up early in the United States. Maybe so some of you have stayed up really late on the west coast of the U.S. Just a few minutes before 7 a.m. in the east coast of the United States. We're live, almost 1 in the afternoon, 1300 here in Royan. Evan Lepler, Liam Grant, our fantastic crew that has come together from all parts of the globe to bring you live coverage of WCBU 2017, the 5th ever World Championships of Beach Ultimate, and certainly the most competitive, the most organized, greatest beach tournament we've ever seen. Nathan White. Oh, nearly a D, but it's Mims able to take charge. And now Schaffner. Slicing that throw through, he forced it. And it is a turnover. Giving Jorgensen a chance to make the play, but certainly not the shot Schaffner ideally would have taken there.
A touch in the lane from the Russian player changes the trajectory, and great awareness there.
You're absolutely right. That was Natalia Shabunyaeva who had that great backhand huck earlier, doing it on the defensive side as well. Appears there's an injury. I think it was Jorgensen on the sideline. She was replaced by Lizzie Laurie. Massac Kelly rips one. And Schaffner elevates. He's called for a foul, and he will contend it was clean. Yelisev, the intended target.
This is the second time these two have gone up together, and oh, it looks clean to me, unless he's saying he had.
They have retracted the foul. Great play by Schaffner, making amends for his throwing miscue. And now taking a shot for White, and he gets to the disc before Massac Kelly. Looking end zone, Sarah Mextroff. An important response from the United States.
USA male players stepping up on their marks. Schaffner initially shutting down the Russian receiver. Does so well not to initiate contact there.
Pretty good hang time as well on the sand.
And then we see Nathan White boosting deep, and the nice touch to the end zone. And USA looking a different outfit than they have earlier on the week.
You know, when the USA roster came out initially, Markham Schaffner was the only returning player on the USA mixed team from Dubai. Now, Byron Liu was an alternate, and when Nikki Spiva, one of the original managers of this team, departed for the World Games roster, Liu was added, but it's just 2 of the 15 players from 2 years ago.
Talking to Eli Kearns before the game, I was asking who's been playing the best, and he said Byron Liu's been the best player for the US so far. And it's funny how that can happen. Sometimes you're given that position of alternate, and then you get the call up, you're riled and ready to go. You're not afraid of anything. You want to prove your place on the team, and doing so.
It's a great point. Eileen Murray, the head coach, said virtually the same thing. Asked her who on the team has surprised you the most, and she immediately talked about Byron and what he has added both defensively and emotionally. Critical for Russia to hold here on offense. Vasiliev hits Keesley. And tremendous underneath defense. Marika Austin, step for step. You can just feel the USA closing in. McShane quickly for Mextroff. Crossfield swing for Liu. And looking for Taylor near the sideline. He's inbounds. It's a good goal for the Americans.
Mac Taylor, a legend of the game, bouncing nicely to that near sideline. And I feel whether USA win this tournament or not is up to them, this mixed team. Maybe lacking the mental prowess in the earlier rounds, but showing their skills here, and if they play like they are now, I don't know who can stop them.
Well, Russia had not lost a game all tournament long, entering this quarterfinal at 9-0, and yet they are precariously behind by 5 after the Taylor score. Germany with a 6-4 lead on Great Britain. That would be the USA semifinal opponent if both advance. Meanwhile, the Philippines leading 7-4 on India, and Canada a 6-4 lead on Portugal. So if these scores stand, we'd have USA, Germany at the top. Germany, of course, the defending champs from 2 years ago, and then Canada and the Philippines at the bottom.
The only one not going as predicted, or predicted by me, is that Portugal-Canada game. Portugal more used to the sand, maybe the Canadians, but Canadian silver medalists from Dubai, showing their class when it matters most, and a 2-point lead there. But
that Portugal team felt like they had Russia beat a few days ago. An error on the pull here is going to give Russia ridiculous field position. Liu will pester Vasiliev on the mark. White chasing Mazzucchelli. Vinogradova joins the two-man game of Vasiliev and Mazzucchelli. And Russia punches it in with a short field. Back within 4. But again, they would need 5 breaks in a row, or 5 breaks over the next 20 minutes or so to win this thing.
yeah, big ask for the Russians. And we see there the US forcing Vasiliev and Mazzucchelli into kind of handler positions and making the Russian females work for the score. Russians adjusting well there to take what's given to them, but it's not what they really want to be doing.
Mac Taylor's goal that made it 10-5. Russia responding to make it 10-6. Rudometkin. Will this pull come back? Yes. Pretty good. Risky, but it worked. Tough grab from Higgins. Huge backhand fake. And then he turned it over. Off the fingertips of Minor. USA had not had any turnovers in the first 12 points of this game. Now opening the door slightly. Stukalina. Yelesev works it downfield, and Shadyapova makes it 10-7.
Pavel Eremen crucial in that point. The man working on his PhD in aviation.
Yeremen's been playing Ultimate for a long time. He played at Junior Worlds with Anatoly Vasiliev for Team Russia 15 years ago.
Yeah, Natalia Sheboneva playing with him as well. Those two, 15 years of experience on the line, and they'll be channeling that wisdom now.
So in the clutch moments of the week, you look at these two teams. Russia is the team that has consistently come through in the clutch. And the USA, in some pivotal moments against Sweden, in the Philippines in particular, have fallen short. Certainly USA has a cushion, but something to keep in mind. It's Laurie, Kearns, Higgins, Kayla Jorgensen back on the field with Liza Minor. Laurie Bluffs a throw to Jorgensen, floats it high. Higgins has to adjust. So far, a male-dominated point from USA. And now looking Jorgensen's way and through her grasp. The tension builds.
Jorgensen, a fantastic athlete. Often seeing her on Goose Helton's Instagram as she perfects her training technique and shares it with the world.
Goose, an Instagram account worth following?
Definitely, second to mine, obviously. Pretty big on the gram. But Goose wearing number 70 this week as well, which has given many of us plenty of laughs.
Mazzucchelli shoots it, connects with Yelisev. Russia has scored 3 in a row. And what was once a 5-goal gap has been narrowed to 2.
And USA will not want this one to go to universe point, because the Russians have done the better so far in that situation. Nice hammer here. And the Russians attacking that break side at will. A lot of experience in this Russian team going back through the years, especially with a club team called Made in the USSR. Came in second to Paganello.
USA took a timeout. Russia retreats to its tent. Pressure mounting for both of these squads. 10-8 USA here in Royan.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
Important offensive point coming up here for USA. Nathan White, Markham Schaffner, Ben Laurie, his sister Lizzie, and it looks like Sally Mims trotting onto the field. Canada, I beg your pardon, Russia. Feels like Canada when I see Mazzucchelli on the line first.
A Freudian slip there.
Mazzucchelli will pull. Kitmanov, and I believe Yeremin out there as well, with Letusheva and Vinogradova. This is primarily not the USA O-line. Schaffner rips one. Ben Laurie, can he get there? Laurie inbounds, back of the end zone. An incredible racing score when they really needed it.
He was close to the end zone line there.
A brief discussion, but they do call it a goal.
Pavel Ehrman, the Spirit captain, with a good perspective there and agrees with the U.S. team.
Markham Schaffner should buy Ben Laurie a drink.
Yeah, just got his feet down in time because his arm was going to land out of bounds. Does well to drag his foot.
Yeah, certainly that knee was down before the tape. Great grab from Laurie. Plays his club ultimate out in Colorado. Now 11-8.
USA signaling for 3 women as the end zone on the right hand side of the field gets to choose now. And that could affect the game because now more than likely we'll see USA continue to call 3 females whenever in that end zone. So the Russians will have to work it upwind with just the two lads.
Anton Kiesley and Isaiah Masik-Kelly, the two males. Vasiliev walked off the field. Vasiliev entered this game third in the tournament in assists. Kiesley just inbounds, hassled by Liu. Vinogradova on target for Latusheva. Great skying grab from Kiesley near the goal line. Shebunyaeva. Looking to the end zone. There was certainly some contact. A pair of Russians caught it simultaneously. Maybe Taylor had an argument about being picked, but certainly I think a clean goal for Kiesley.
Yeah, Mac Taylor potentially had a bid there, but Masik-Kelly in the way, but I don't think it was...
It's hard to call a pick when Masik-Kelly's also going for the disc.
Yeah, as long as he's making a play in that disc, he's the right to be there. Doesn't look like he was intentionally blocking Taylor. I think he was just trying to get to the disc, as you see he also gets the hand to it. And we'll see what the stat keepers give that one to.
Vasiliev back out there, Rudometkin to pull. Latusheva, Sharyapova, and Yelisev for Team Russia. Kearns, Higgins, Laurie. Shooting it deep, Simon Higgins. Yes.
First time the US use Higgins for the full field hook, and he obliges with the grab. That one made easy by the beautiful touch. We see the Russians choosing to go to straight up force, which makes the hook a bit more tricky, but once it goes up, as a defender, you don't really know which side is coming, very hard to adjust.
So USA within one score of the semifinals. Germany has pulled away from Great Britain on field 2, 13-6. Germany advances, awaiting the winner of this one. Canada leads Portugal 9-6, the Philippines a 9-5 lead over India. These are all mixed quarterfinals. Semis will be tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. local time here in Royan.
It's now game point for the US. Have a chance to end it here. Getting to play against the club team made in USSR, which has the bones of its players here. Winning Paganello 2012-2013, often using that straight up force to great effect.
Masik-Kelly back to Vasiliev with McShane on the mark. Vinogradova. Mextroth nearby. Vasiliev. Shebunyaeva. It's must score for Russia. And there's a call away from the disc. No, perhaps it was a stall called before the throw to Vasiliev.
She was definitely close to that T of 10, but this one going to be contested by looks of things.
Vinogradova. Back to Shebunyaeva. Massac Kelly really struggling to shake free of Taylor. Finally, he gets it. Russia being forced to work very hard for just this hold. If they get it, they'll need 3 breaks in a row to survive and advance. Vasiliev to the end zone for Massac Kelly. He's just shy of the goal line. And the Americans' defensive stinginess through the final third of the field finally pays off as Austin delivers another spectacular D.
Access denied by Austin there. Real standout in this game so far.
McShane lets it fly. Mextroth for the win. USA eliminates Russia in the quarterfinals. 13-9, closing it out in style with a full field shot for the game-clinching break.
So that semifinal is now secured. USA versus Germany. Other games may still be going on now, so if you have your 2 monitors up, check out fantasy.com where you might be able to catch the end of the other semifinals. Fantastic performance here from the US, saving their A game for the latter rounds.
For Team Russia, they go 9-0. A win in dramatic fashion in the pre-quarters, and they will head into the 5 through 8 bracket after the United States opened the game with back-to-back breaks and led this thing wire to wire. Russia rallied. USA was up 10-5, and then all of a sudden it was a 2-goal game at 10-8. But USA won that next critical game to 3 and prevailed 3-1 from there. 13-9 the final. The USA mixed team has been shaky at several times here in France, but they prevail over the previously undefeated Russians in the quarters. For Liam Grant, Evan Lepler saying so long for now. Great ultimate still to come here on this Thursday in France.
Le prochain match dans l'arène 1 sera la France contre l'Estonie. Division femmes. Arena 1, France-Estonie en 8e de finale. Ce sera le premier match élimination pour cette catégorie féminine. J'invite les supporters français, estoniens et tous les autres à rejoindre les tribunes pour voir ce match qui commencera dans 20 minutes. La tribune rouge est accessible gratuitement par l'arrière, la bleue par l'avant, aussi gratuitement. Et la tribune blanche est réservée aux volontaires, au staff médical ainsi qu'aux scolaires. Players and volunteers, don't forget that tonight it's a meet and greet party at the main tent. Players can buy 3 beers for €5 and give one to one of the volunteers with a blue shirt.
Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je fais une balance dedans là?